Tax season is right around the corner, and I'm starting to see tax prep ads all over the place. Another thing I've noticed getting pushed more and more over the years are tax refund advance loans. They seem innocent enough. Borrow cash against your tax refund and pay the loan back when you get that refund. Easy enough, right? Give your tax prep office some info, sign a few docs, get your cash, done. And it's being marketed that way, so why should we think any different? Look, if you need the money, do what you have to. But I'd strongly advise against taking out one of these tax refund loans. But if you're gonna do it anyway, I want you to educate yourself as much as possible on what this type of loan is actually gonna cost you. I'm gonna cover the pros and cons of tax refund loans of the 3 biggest players in this space. There's 2 types of tax refund loans. A tax refund advance loan where you get lent a percentage of your forecasted tax refund. The second type of tax refund loan is a refund anticipation loan, where you're essentially borrowing the money you expect to get back from the IRS after you file your taxes. So instead of waiting weeks for your refund to hit your bank account, with a refund anticipation loan, you can get it within a few days. Sometimes it's not as easy as that, and I'll get more into that in a minute. First, let's talk about the fees. All right, one of the first cons of taking out a tax refund loan. So the IRS will never charge you for your refund. Even to file your taxes, there's a lot of places to file for free. So if you can wait a few weeks for that tax refund, do it. So let's say you're forecasted to receive a $5,000 tax refund. You go into one of these tax places and say, hey, I want a tax refund loan. They say, all right, we'll lend you a percentage of that. We're gonna lend you 3-4 grand. On that 3-4 grand, they're gonna charge you APR. I saw one of these was 36% APR. That's like $1,500 roughly, depending on how they structure it, depending if there's fees, depending if there's origination fees, application fees, what have you. So because you didn't wait a few months for your tax refund, you're gonna end up paying $1,500 for that loan on your own money. And remember, most lenders, not all, but most, will require you to sign over your tax refund to that lender. So if you're forecasting to make or to receive a $5,000 tax refund, maybe they lend you 50% of that. So $2,500, maybe 3 grand. That money is now not gonna go to you. It's gonna go to your lender. So from there, they're gonna take out the original loan amount, whatever interest accumulated, whatever fees they're charging, whatever processing time they have, which can be a few days or even a few weeks, to give you whatever remaining balance is of that money. So where you were trying to get money quick, now you're going to be waiting even longer to get your remaining tax refund. Staying on the topic of waiting longer, delays. A lot of these anticipation loans require the lender to process your tax refund before issuing you that loan. If there's any issue with your tax refund, let's say you owe back taxes, let's say you owe child support, let's say you didn't file correctly for whatever reason, that can delay your anticipation loan, which can actually have you waiting longer than that 2 weeks for your actual tax refund to come in. So on top of waiting longer than it would take for waiting for your original tax refund, you're also gonna have fees and interest. So if you do take out one of these tax anticipation loans, make sure everything is legit, make sure all your information is correct, and make sure you don't have any pending unpaid obligations. Going back to the refund advance loan, where you can apply for a loan up to 2 months before you file your taxes, there are some cases that lenders don't require you to sign over your tax refund once you receive it. This can be really damaging because you might be thinking, well, once that tax refund comes in, what I'm gonna do is pay my loan off. But what happens a lot of times is more things come up, more obligations come up, more bills come up. So instead of paying that loan off, I'll just keep making those minimum payments. And what happens there is the interest starts to really pile up, especially if your loan is amortized. So while you would have paid maybe a few $100s in interest if you paid your loan off within that few months, you're gonna end up paying maybe $1,500, even 2 grand for that small loan you took out. And what I do see happen a lot, how people get jammed up with bad credit is, this is a new loan. You have other bills that you have, right? You have other obligations. You have light, you have rent, you have mortgage, you have your car, water, whatever. If you needed this loan in the first place, that means you couldn't make those ends meet. Now what's gonna happen? You have another bill on your plate. So you didn't use your tax refund to pay your loan back. Now that money's gone. Now you have other things to pay. Now you don't have money to pay that loan. So what are you gonna do? Stop paying. What happens now? Your credit starts taking a nosedive. Now you're stuck. You can't buy a new car. You can't take out a new credit card. You can't do anything having to do with your credit, all because you have this tax refund collection on your credit report. Now you have to go and get my credit repair course, and I don't want you to have to do that if you don't need to. All right, so saying all that and you're not trying to hear it, you're gonna take out one of these tax refund loans anyway. we're going to cover the three main players in the space: H&R Block, TurboTax, and Jackson Hewitt. And yeah, I know there's other tax prep offices that also offer this service, but we're sticking with these three. So let's start with H&R Block. So H&R Block offers two advances: the Emerald Advance Loan, which is like a traditional loan with the APR of 35.9%, and they also have a Refund Advance Loan, which has 0% APR, but it does require you to file your taxes with H&R Block, either in person or via a virtual appointment, and receive a sufficient refund amount and provide proof of ID. You also need to meet other certain credit criteria and underwriting requirements. One of the downsides to this Emerald Advance Loan is that it must be paid back by March 31st, 2025. Filing your taxes with H&R Block is not required for this loan. Both loans are issued by Pathward. Loan amounts for the Emerald Advance Loan is going to be anywhere from $350 to $1,300, and the Refund Advance Loan anywhere from $250 to $4,000. There's no specified funding time for the Emerald Advance Loan, but they do offer a same-day funding option for the Refund Advance Loan. On both these loans, you can choose to get your funds sent to an H&R Block issued prepaid debit card or spending account. Requirements for the Refund Advance Loan is you must provide proof of identification and income. Next is Jackson Hewitt, which also offers two Refund Advance Loans: the Early Tax Refund Advance Loan, which has an APR of 35.96, and a No-Fee Refund Advance Loan that has a 0% APR. So to qualify for the largest Early Tax Refund Advance Loan, your expected federal tax refund must be at least $4,600. You can receive anywhere from $100 to $1,500. To qualify for the largest No-Fee Tax Refund Advance Loan, the required minimum refund must be at least $3,600. You can receive anywhere from $250 to $3,500, and your money can be available the same day you apply for your loan if you choose to have your funds loaded onto a prepaid debit card, or if you choose to have those funds deposited into your bank account. It can take anywhere from 1 to 5 business days. You must have your taxes prepped at a Jackson Hewitt storefront location, meaning these loans are not available online. The Early Tax Refund Advance requires a recent paycheck stub, ID, and SSN. If you receive an Early Tax Refund Advance, you're required to also apply for the No-Fee Tax Refund Advance Loan. Funding for both loan products is through Republic Bank. Last is TurboTax, and if I absolutely needed to apply for a Refund Advance Loan, it'd probably be here. TurboTax only offers one loan, the TurboTax Zero Interest Refund Loan. You can apply for the loan online when you file your taxes. One of the downsides to this loan is if you are approved, you must open a Credit Karma money checking account to access your loan. So the only requirements for this loan is that you must file your taxes with TurboTax and you receive at least a $500 tax return. And you can't be a resident of Connecticut, Illinois, or North Carolina. And this loan is available until February 28th. So as I mentioned, to access your funds, if you are approved for this loan, you must open a Credit Karma money checking account. And if you're new to Credit Karma Money and you don't have an account, it can take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks for your physical debit card to arrive. But you will have access to your funds online within minutes after the IRS accepts your e-file tax return via a virtual card. So you will be able to shop online, but you won't have access to liquid cash till you receive your debit card. But as I mentioned, out of the three, I choose TurboTax because with Jackson Hewitt, you must file at a storefront. With H&R Block, you do have the option to file either at a storefront or virtually, but you are filing with somebody, and you're really not taking the time to make sure you get the biggest refund possible via deductions and credits. You're just giving this person your information, they're typing it in, on to the next one. They don't care how much you get. With TurboTax, you're in full control, and it's really easy even if you've never filed your own taxes. You even get a refund tracker. As you're entering your information, it tells you how much you're going to receive in your federal tax refund to make sure you're getting the biggest refund possible. And you might be thinking, you know what? All tax prep offices are the same. So it doesn't matter if I file with TurboTax, doesn't matter if I file with TaxSlayer, it doesn't matter if I file with H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, I'm going to get the same refund. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. Last year I was being lazy. I had tons of paperwork. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go to Jackson Hewitt and I'm going to have these guys file my taxes for me. Went to Jackson Hewitt to file. They told me how much my tax refund was going to be. And for some reason it didn't sound right. I ended up not filing, coming back home and filing with TurboTax. I ended up receiving $738 more in my federal tax refund because I took the time to make sure that I had all the credits and all the deductions to get the highest tax refund possible. So I do have a link in the description for TurboTax if you want to start filing for free. So be sure and check that out. So what can you do if you need quick cash? There's other loan options out there. Check out my channel. I have tons of different videos, tons of different resources, everything you need to keep your finances on track. So I hope this video was helpful. I want to thank you for watching. Links in description. See you next time.